Hey everyone, this is Nathan Tusi with the Winner's Edge Trading Daily Analysis. First and major thing that I want to do for today is remind you that tomorrow's Friday and there's major news. We have non-farms and unemployment like we do on the first Friday of every month. So make sure that you keep an eye on that. That's obviously major news. But also combined with that, we have CAD unemployment rate, CAD unemployment change, and building permits for Canadian as well. So that 8:30 time slot in tomorrow's New York session is going to be packed with news. And you just gotta keep that in the front of your mind as you're trading. If you're in any CAD or dollar, actually really if you're in any trades across the board, they're probably going to be affected. So if you're trading tomorrow morning, you want to make sure that that's in the front of your mind and that you're aware that that event is going to happen. And around 8:30, the markets probably are going to react quite a bit. So I would go ahead and keep that in the front of your mind. I can't stress that enough. Should be very interesting what we see because the USDCAD obviously has been moving pretty good lately. So with all the USD and CAD news coming out together, that pair could do something pretty interesting. I'm not sure really what to expect there, but I'll definitely be awaiting that with some anticipation and definitely be very interested in what's gonna happen with that pair. All right. So again, just make sure you don't forget about this news. All right. Our terms basically right here, they say that this is for educational purposes only. We're not registered to give investment advice and tell you what to do with your money. We're not licensed or qualified. We're just here to share, what we're doing with the markets and, kind of just for educational purposes. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you need to pause it to take a look at that, please do that. And then we can jump into the analysis. First thing we have is the euro dollar, which has continued its downward movement, as you can see today. Pretty nice bearish bar. And what I like about the euro dollar right now is that it's following pretty good technical signals. You can see that we had an upward channel going on here, which was broken with this bearish bar. We had a few bars down, a retrace exactly up to where our channel line and also the 38.2 fib level. Let me draw that more exact. But right to the 38 fib level, this retracement matched that exactly. And then we turn around with a solid inside bar, a stall bar, and two continuation bars. So what's nice about this is that it's very technical trading. It's not random, just kind of moving all over the place. This is things that you can draw your lines and put your levels in and actually expect the market at this time to kind of follow what you're looking at. So with that said, the next level that we'd probably be looking for euro dollar to test would be here. Oh, that's not what I want. Let me get rid of that. My apologies. Would be this bottom here where our channel started, because what you're always expecting when you have a breakout and a continuation of a channel break, when the channel is going up, you're looking for it to test the bottom where the channel started. So this level right here, which is not too far off, I'll give you a pip count here. It is about 90 pips away. So that's what I would be expecting, is continuation of this to the level here where the channel started. And again, just make sure that when you're trading, especially like the major pairs, that a lot of people are looking at these levels. Make sure you have these levels drawn in, because like I said, there's so many people trading these pairs that all of them are going to be looking at these levels. So if you're not, if you don't have these levels drawn, if you're not paying attention to these levels, then price might react and you might be confused as to what it's doing. But then you kind of realize that other people are putting money into the market based on the levels. So you got to have those in the front of your mind to make sure that you're aware. So euro dollar, definitely a great bounce, just a really great signal. You had a break of your channel, you had a follow through, you had an expected retracement. It came up to match not only your trend channel but also your fib level, and then a very strong continuation which eclipsed the previous low. So just a great technical sign, something that you should be able to play off and trade off of when it trades that technically sound. Okay, so great signals on the euro dollar. All right, the pound dollar is a little bit different. We do have some continuation to the downside off of the top of this level. However, it has not passed the previous low. Okay, so we have this low right here, which I'll just pop in there, and you can see that today's bar did not eclipse that low. Okay, so if you draw kind of where all these little tails here, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then some down here, just a little. Let's draw it about there. That's kind of this little mini resistance zone here where all these tails are congregated at, and you'd probably like to see a break of this level. Now, of course, the problem is once you break this level, it's not real far until your major resistance level down here. So there's not really a ton of room for pound to move when you're playing those levels. However, you do see that when you look through the history of this level, most times prices actually surge to the middle or even bottom of this level. So if we take a pip count, you can see that kind of in the middle of this area to the lower end of this area is about 175 pips. So there's actually some pretty decent pip movement available in the pound dollar. Also, notice that we do have a nice M pattern here. Whoops, let me fix that. A nice M pattern here. Came down, tested, came back up, and now is on its way back down. So when you have an M pattern like this, you look for it to bounce back up off the next resistance level normally. But a strong fourth leg of the pattern could possibly break down, show continuation to the downside. So keep an eye on those levels and make sure that you look at them during the news tomorrow as well, because with non-farms coming out, that could affect this quite a bit. USDCAD is one that I said that we would look at because of all the news tomorrow, and you can see, that the USDCAD has been moving pretty nicely for the most part. Now today and tomorrow there's a United States holiday. Didn't move too much, but we had this bar followed by this massive bar, a good stall bar, and then a very nice continuation. So just a little bit of pause here. Now there's a few things that could happen. We could see tomorrow a total rejection and just a skyrocket back up to these areas like 103.5 areas where price was kind of hanging out before, or we could see that this strong momentum is going to fall through. That today's bar is just a small stall and then a continuation with a lot of downward momentum. So those are two different ways that could play out. My bias is probably towards the downside. Maybe not as far as I've drawn here, but at least to jump back into this level and at least to get to parity. I think that we've been overdue since we've hit parity. So that's kind of what I'm expecting to come down into this area at least. But again, the news plays tricks. The news can be very random and very hard to forecast, obviously. So I wouldn't give a solid expectation. But if I had to choose, I would think that my sentiment is bearish on USDCAD at this point. Okay, the pound New Zealand is still heading down quite a bit. You can see that there's a lot of momentum. I'm still short on this. You can see that my stop loss is locked in quite a few pips, and my total position is up about 390 pips. You can see that there if you look. It shows 390 pips on this position. My entry was here after it broke out of this little channel. So this is my entry, and we've headed down pretty nicely since then. And I'm just going to keep holding this. I think that the pound New Zealand basically has an unlimited ability to move. I mean, it could move 10,000 pips. It's just unlimited. My hard take profit is all the way down here, as you can see. But even if it gets down here, I might move it farther. If I'm just going to keep dragging my stop and get as many pips out of this as possible. So I'm not saying that there's a good short entry available right now. But just the fact that pound New Zealand for me is just so bearish. I mean, you see the momentum after it peaked up here. The momentum is just so strong back to the downside. Any retraces, back up and turns for me are great short opportunities. Take a short at the peak and get some immediate pips, and that's kind of what I'm looking at for pound New Zealand. I'd look to add if I had a nice retrace and then a break to a lower level. Pound New Zealand just moving great. The other pair that I talked about before that I really liked was the EUROAUD short, and you can see that has absolutely exploded. It even broke through our downtrend. So here I was talking about it's a great tail for trend continuation. We got our follow through, and now just today's the biggest bar of all. So that's kind of interesting when you get a downtrend that's this steep. I mean, because this is pretty steep. normally you don't expect the later bars to actually get stronger and larger as the trend goes down like we see here, but that's just showing a lot of downward momentum, and you see it just crushed the bottom level here. Here was the kind of the line that I was waiting for it to see how it reacted, and I mean it didn't even mess around, didn't even struggle, it just crushed right through it with just absolute total momentum, euro weakness, odd strength powering through, and just a great continuation bar for EURUSD. So for me, that means that this trend is for real, that this thing really is headed down. And again, that would lead me to believe that any retraces and then breaks back down like so would be great opportunities for short at the top of those peaks. And that's what I'll be looking for with EURUSD for sure over the next few few months or however long it continues this downtrend. You can see that this level that it broke is a serious level. Has not got down to these prices ever. So very serious, just a massive break of that level and a lot of momentum on the EURUSD short side. Okay, last thing we'll look at is AUD dollar, because AUD dollar we've been very bullish on here at Winner's Edge Trading. I know Casey has some long orders on his Australian dollar pair on the copier account, which you can look into if you're interested. But we've been stacked on longs, and it's moving very slowly right now. So again, this is something where the news could come into play. It's kind of trying to build a very small base up here, but what we're expecting is hopefully a spike to the upside, which would be great. You have this very strong momentum bar, and then a kind of a channeling, and then a re-spike back to the upside. That's a pretty common pattern, and that's kind of what we're hoping for with the AUD dollar. I think that the AUD bullish sentiment is for real. I think that AUD really is gaining back some strength, and so that's what I'm looking to take advantage of on any AUD dollar opportunities there. Notice that it did break through this level right here, which was a pretty nice level. So you can see that it was tested before, and it broke that. It's kind of sitting on the top of that level, and again, we're just waiting for that spike to the upside. Hopefully the non-farms will aid us in that upward spike. Alright, I think that's it for the daily analysis today. I hope that was beneficial to you and that you're watching some of those levels. Keep in mind that the news is going to be major tomorrow, and to be very careful with your trading. Alright, thanks, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.